This is NewHampshireCrossCountry.com, powered by Runner's Alley, coming at you from the 2019 Black Bear Invitational. This year's Meet Hub is brought to you by Foss Running Camp. And again, I'm joined with Jim McKenzie, go through some of the individuals with us for the boys race.
All right, on the boys side, we'll start off with Landon Vaillancourt. He's one of the top runners coming back in the state this year. He looks good. He looked great last week. He won the small school team. Cole Brown's Aiden Cox, Luke Kasich, I think they were both born on this course, so they know it probably better than anybody. Dawson Dubois, Wyatt Mackey. Cole Brown's the #1 ranked team in the state, and they should be bringing it today. Oyster River has Miles Carrico. I've heard Andy O'Brien probably not running today, maybe sick. Phillips Exeter's Will Coogan is back in the hunt. He's got Varen Oberai and Connor Chen. They all won the Winnicott. They beat Winnicott last week at Bobcat, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Bobcat. Colin Donnelly, I guess, is out sick. Dylan and Jared Khalil, both studs on this course over the years. Pinkerton's Luke Brennan, Steve Conley, and Zach Blaza. They're probably the top team in Division I, or right there with Londonderry and Concord. Speaking of Concord, you got Eben Braggs, Braden Kearns, Dave Cook, Ryan Devine. Hopefully they'll show up today and be a force to reckon with. Milford's Caleb Korthals, Convell's Harrison Kim, and Wyndham's Rohan Rai all look to be contenders today.
Yeah, so if we switch gears a little bit, take a look at the boys' teams. Unranked, because they're not from New Hampshire Public Schools. You got Phillips Exeter. They look to contend pretty heavily as well. Champlain Valley, those boys coming a long way for this race. See if they can do the same damage the girls did. In terms of ranked teams in the state, Cole Brown, like you said, is #1. They've got to be the favorite team to watch today. Pinkerton's #4, Oyster River 5, Concord 6. They had a lot of success here last year. Obviously, they got rid of some dead weight named Forrest. #7 would be Winnicott, although if Colin Donnelly is out, you got to imagine that's going to hurt them quite a bit. And then Hanover at 9. So we have 6 of the top 10 ranked boys teams in the state here today towing the line.
A lot can happen in this race. Last year, Winnicott was running unbelievable up to 2 miles. Winnicott and Cole Brown, and Concord came back in the last mile and pulled it out. So this race isn't over at 2 miles. There's plenty of things that can happen.
And speaking of last year, you remember the finish. It was pretty much a tie between Reynolds and Besch Dining, both crossing at 16:16. I don't know if we're going to see a finish like that again today. It's pretty rare to see a virtual tie. Obviously, it was broken, but pretty impressive run. They ran that at a 5:15 pace, so we'll see what we can do today with our top boys.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I think they'll be under 16:30 for sure. Hopefully right around 16 flat. It's a nice day. Starting to warm up a little bit, but not too bad.
Yeah, it'll be in the woods in this light breeze. It's going to be good. Perfect rain.
Definitely. If you're not used to this kind of weather by now, then you had issues over the summer not training enough.
Yeah.
Because this is still perfect.
So again, we do have Will Coogan back. I expect to see him up front. Aiden Cox up front as well. He runs this in his sleep.
Yeah, I'm predicting Aiden Cox is going to win it.
Yeah, we saw him. Obviously, he's a freshman, so last year he didn't run this, but what he did was run a fall local 5K here. He got 3rd behind professional runner and former New Hampshire runner of the year. We have our gun up. And they're off. Your 2019 Black Bear Invitational boys race.
Concord's out hard right now, as is that Phillips Exeter.
Let's go, KC!
It's a pretty big pack.
Let's go,
We'll check them out about 800 in. All right, we've got some leaders coming in now.
At the delivery room.
Got Trinity out in front.
Is that Danny Donovan?
Big group of Concord. No, it's not.
Big group. Concord's taking right to him. Where's their 5th? There he is. Come on, Big's up there. So right now, it looks like a battle between Cole Brown and Concord.
Yeah, we're early.
Way early.
There's no separation yet. This is still anyone's race. But yeah, you definitely want to be in that front pack. Otherwise, you're working up the whole way and you're just exhausting yourself.
Yeah, I actually like where Concord is right now. Last week, they went out a little bit too passive, and you know, if you're not going to grind it, you're not going to be there. But this week, they really went for it. I like that move. We'll see how it plays out. Because this is Cole Brown's home course.
You got it.
You got to take it to him.
Cole Brown's expected to win today.
It's like beating the Patriots. If you play their game, you're going to lose. But if you go at them, you can beat them.
Yeah, I definitely want to try and switch up the strategy for this course. We're going to go ahead, check it out at the 1 mile.
All right, here we are at the 1 mile, the boys varsity race. Luke Kazik and Landon Valancourt leading the race.
Aiden Cox, around.
Miles Carrico up front, big Concord pack up front, as well as Phillips Exeter. All, I think we got 6 Phillips Exeter all the way through.
And there's Cole Brown's 5 and 6. Cole Brown's 7th.
But yeah, Phillips Exeter well in control of this race so far. They are going through the mile very quickly. That was about 5 flat for the top guys.
5:33, Cody, right where you need to be.
So that's a pretty quick first mile, although it is mostly downhill. But that's still pretty quick. That's I mean, sub 16 pace, about 15:45 pace. Although the hilliest sections of the course are coming up, so they'll probably slow down a little bit in mile 2. But they could be low 16s, I would imagine, at this pace. So, should be a pretty fast race.
Yeah, they seem to be coming through pretty fast. Landon Valancourt and Luke Kazik fighting pretty hard.
Yeah, and then I think 2 or 3 Phillips Exeter right behind them.
And then there's Aiden Cox.
And then a big group with Aiden Cox, Miles Carrico, like 4 Concord boys.
And Dawson DeBlanc.
6:28.
There we go, Gabe. Perfect, Gabe.
6:30, Carlos.
So yeah, still anybody's race at this point.
6:34, Jacob.
There we go, Chris.
So it should spread out over the hills on the next mile. So we'll see where we're at the next checkpoint.
All right, we've got our leaders coming around the corner.
Okay, you got Luke Kasich, Valancourt, Ryan Devine, Coogan, Aiden Cox, Dave Cook, Evan Bragg. Cheslick staying right in there. Looks good.
Yeah, you got those studs up there that we were expecting.
There's Pinkertons.
Good group there. Couple more for Cole Brown.
Burns is coming down to you. Let's go.
Biggs, we go around this corner. Please accelerate to the start.
Come on, Lars.
Yeah, this point in the race, a little bit after that 1 mile mark. Still plenty of racing for the teams. Right now, I saw Cole Brown was definitely up there. Concord looks pretty good. Pinkerton had that pack a little bit back, but we'll see what the pack can do.
Phillips Exeter is definitely right there right now.
Oh yeah, because Phillips Exeter had 2 in the top 5.
Here we go, Casey.
And then 3 right back there.
So those are definitely the teams right now.
Yeah, Pinkerton looked good though.
Yep. Pinkerton's got a running style. They always go out on the easier end of things and come back hard. They know how to do it.
They do a lot of team running too. That's what makes them strong.
That's why they've been good for 40 years.
Hey, here we go. This is where we catch up the hill. Let's go. You got this. Time to move. Hey, here we go, Jasper. Catch this pack. You got
Still a lot of boys working here.
Hey, here we go, Driscoll. Time to
Again,
move. Let's go. You got
9 race in this varsity race instead of your typical 7. So we've got some 7, 8, 9s out looking to prove it.
Looking good. Looking smooth.
Looking to make that spot for varsity. That's the action we're looking at right now. We're going to head back up to Grand Junction, check out the action with our leaders.
Still a good pack. Luke Kasich, Landon Valancourt, Will Coogan, Miles Carrico, Aiden Cox, Evan Bragg.
Eyes up, go get him now. Hey, you gotta lean forward. Pump those arms, go get them.
Cole Brown's 4.
Definitely a little bit more separation than we saw last time.
Shake it out, go to work. You gotta
We're a little bit past that halfway mark.
Pinkerton's got 5.
Chewy, take a deep breath and go. Come on, be tough.
7 guys from Cole Brown.
Yeah, they're looking to displace some people today.
Biggs, let's go. Biggs, you gotta dig down deep. Get the work,
So I think Cole Brown right now is get this well in hand.
Hey, boss, you look better than
But the race, individual race, is well up.
Oh yeah, that's what's going to get exciting over the next mile.
Let's go. Get up there, buddy.
Because those guys are hanging together, and it could be any one of them making that move.
Get that back. Come on, let's go.
All right, with a good group of guys past us, we're gonna throw it down to Davio again at the 2 mile.
All right, we're now at the 2 mile. These boys are ripping. There's Luke Kazik and Landon Valancourt still leading. Aiden Cox moved up. He was in the second pack. Miles Carrico, Jared Khalil of Sanborn. But Phillips Exeter up towards the front. I think that's 4 for Phillips Exeter.
4 Cole Brown.
So it should be pretty close between Co-Brown and Phillips Exeter. Jack Taylor of Winnicunnet.
You're doing great.
Another Concord.
David Cook of Concord. So yeah, Concord, Pinkerton, Phillips Exeter, and Co-Brown and Oyster River up towards front for team scores.
Co-Brown's 5th.
That's 6 for Co-Brown. I think 6 for Phillips Exeter as well.
Another Pinkerton.
Might be Concord's 4th or 5th. So it should be pretty close between these top teams at this point. All of their runners are kind of just interspersed between each other. You know, you gain points in one spot and then you lose points in another spot. So I think it's going to be pretty close. Could come down to more than 5 runners. You know, you get some displacement from your 6th and 7th. Or if it was a tie, then it would come down to the 6th runner, whoever came in first. So could be a very important race for runners 6 and 7. And obviously there's more runners on each team available to fill that 6th and 7th spot, because there are 9 runners in this varsity race for each team. So you have four people in addition to your top 5 that could make up some points if they have, you know, a good day. And if any of your top runners have, you know, not their best day, then it doesn't necessarily mean you're out, because you do have extra people to make up those points. So a little different format, but could yield some interesting results today. So we got one big hill right after this, but a little bit more downhill, and then one big hill before the single track, and it's mostly downhill from there to the finish line.
Separates out in this last mile.
Yeah, so just one big challenge, and then should be a pretty quick last mile. Could be looking at some fast times today, based on what they come through the 2 mile in. Looking at, yeah, it should be low 16s.
Yeah. Definitely
so
a fast race, good course conditions, and good weather.
Yeah, those top guys were not chilling out. Had Valancourt and Kazik and the 2 Phillips Exeter boys right up front.
And then Aiden Cox right in position to balance.
Yeah, he always has a good second half of races. So we saw that at Manchester. Went out, you know, in the top pack, but towards the back of the top pack, and then at mile 2, mile 2.5, all of a sudden he was past, you know, like 10-15 people in front of him. So we'll see how this plays out.
Heads up, first runner.
Here comes our first runner, Will Coogan from Phillips Exeter.
Nice job, Will. Nice and proud, William.
Here comes Landon Valancourt, Messinic.
Follow blue. Katrina.
All blue. Cole Brown boys, Kazik and Cox.
Right now.
Comes Phillips Exeter second for the group. Rohan Rise in there, Khalil.
That's 6, Rohan.
Luke Brennan, Evan Bragg. Who's going to win that group?
Come on, Red. Come on, Red.
We got Miles Carrico here.
Come on, Red. The downhill.
Phillips Exeter's third. Stephen Connolly. Wyatt Mackey. 4 Cole Brown right there.
Come on. Right now, close it
Here
up.
comes Concord second, Brian Devine. Right now it looks like it's going to be Phillips Exeter versus Cole Brown. It's pretty close. There's Phillips fourth.
Come on, Log Dog. We need you to do. Come on.
Here comes Dave Cook. Zach Plaza.
Fifth guy again. Let's
Come on,
get 3.
Log Dog. Big Dog, Log Dog.
Go,
There's Phillips Exeter's fifth. We got a good race right here.
Go, Croy.
Exeter's sixth. Cole Brown sixth.
Come on, Trey. Go, Trey.
There's True Meister Flex from Concord.
Yeah,
Come on, Maddie!
Let's go,
Definitely looks like, if I had to guess it, I would have put, ooh, it's kind of tight. Exeter stacking in.
Come on, Parker! Let's go,
Braden
Caleb!
Kearns from Concord. There's Concord's 5th. It's definitely going to be like Cole Brown, Exeter, Pinkerton, Concord. That's what I would say right now. It will be tight between 1 and 2, let me tell you that. And then I think Pinkerton's definitely 3rd. There's Martin, O'Sullivan, Vos, John Murphy. Promise of the Deerfield Fair. He's getting out quick. I think Pinkerton's definitely 3rd. If I had to guess it. Oyster River's in there too, though. Oyster River's not having the top guy, Andy O'Brien. That definitely hurts.
Come on, let's go! The sticks are behind you, gotta go! Come on, Haven!
Yeah, Haven. But the race isn't over until it's over. So we'll go to the finish line to see how this thing ends.
Here we go.
There's our leader, and it is Phillips
Coogan.
Exeter. Will Coogan.
Tim Cox called that one.
Landon Valancourt coming onto the track now. He's kicking it in. Not sure if he's got enough left for it, though. Coogan's looking pretty smooth.
About the same as last year. 16, Landon Valancourt, Luke Kazik, Aiden Cox,
Messinic High School.
Evan Bragg,
Followed by 2 Cole Brown bands.
So we've had 2 for Cole Brown.
Evan Bragg, Khalil,
Concord's first runner.
Don't let them out-kick you!
Here's another Phillips Exeter, so that's 2 for them, 3 for them.
wow, Phillips Exeter's taking it to Cole Brown.
I see Cole Brown's 3rd as well, though.
Miles Carrico, Connolly, Wyatt Mackey, Dawson Dubois with a big kick.
So Dawson's number 4. He's looking much better than we saw last week. A couple more for Concord. Another Oyster River. Phillips Exeter again.
Let's go, Ryan! Let's go, Ryan!
Pinkerton. That's Cole Brown's 5th. Milford, Salem. Another for Phillips Exeter.
Phillips Exeter's got a good team.
Don't let them out-kick you, Troy!
Again, another runner for Pinkerton.
Pinkerton, Concord, Concord's 4th.
So Cole Brown already has 5 in.
Yep, Cole Brown's gonna win this one today.
Concord's got 4. Phillips Exeter has at least 4, I want to say.
Yeah,
So they're gonna finish up their scoring right here.
Pinkerton definitely got 4 in.
Yep.
Or 5 in at this point.
Let's go, Sam! Let's go, Sam!
Concord's got 6 and 7 in. Their second man didn't have a good day today.
These guys
A lot
are
of team
stretching it
points
out.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was closer than you think on the team side between Cole Brown and Phillips Exeter. Cole Brown definitely won in my eyes, but not by much.
No, we saw Phillips Exeter at Bobcat. We knew they were pretty legit this year. Coogan's pretty impressive, though.
Yeah, very impressive. I mean, he's running, I think, a 4:14 mile.
Yep.
There's nobody in this race that's got that speed.
Pretty interesting, too, if top time this year was the same time as the winners last year.
Exactly. I thought they were going to be way under because they were all battling it out there. But they might have battled it out a little too hard in the beginning.
I know, I was talking to Forrest about it earlier, trying to remember what the weather was last year. And he basically said, oh, it's probably rain, because last year, every meet was rain.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
I think it was rain.
Hey, look, one shoe on, one shoe off.
There you go.
Oh, now he's got it back on.
Well, he's got the headband this week for his glasses, so he's not always fixing it.
Right. Yeah, so I think Pinkerton was the 3rd best team today.
Yeah, no, they showed up. They did a little bit better than anticipated, I'd say. It should help them in terms of rankings. Again, coming into it, they're 4th, so maybe that that might move them. But really, it does solidify that they deserve to be in that top conversation.
I realize Keene is the number 2 team in the state. I don't know. I don't see Keene enough to see exactly what they've done, but
yeah, it's hard to get a gauge
hard to
on
predict.
them. But they had a legit race last week.
Yeah, I think they're essentially the same team as they were last year. You're trading off a couple runners. They lose Aiden Kindop, but they also gained some runners too.
Yeah.
So they're about equal to what they were, and equal to what they were last year. It's probably good enough to win the state championship.
Oh yeah. No, I tell you, just across the state, I feel like boys' side this year, we've got a few freshmen coming into it who are definitely going to make a difference in the state meet.
Yep.
We saw Khalil from Sanborn, he'll make a difference.
Yep.
Cox from Cole Brown will make a difference.
And you know what will make the biggest difference team-wise is Sean Clegg of Londonderry. He's the number 2 man for Londonderry last week.
Yeah.
And they're a team that's like 5 deep, so they got to have everybody going on. They're the 3rd ranked team in the state.
Yeah.
So you got to have all your guys.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, 5 score, but if one of those guys has an off day, you need your number 6, number 7 to step it up, which is what we saw from Cole Brown last week. So it does come down to that team depth a lot of times.
Cole Brown's a deep team this year. Pinkett is always deep. Londonderry and Concord aren't as deep as you think, and neither is Keene.
Yeah.
They're like 5-man teams as far as who's put up really legit numbers week in and week out. Anybody can get lucky one week, but can you be consistent week after week after week?
Oh, absolutely. I know. I'm looking forward again to next week. See a little bit more competition across the board as well. But pretty good race.
Yeah, you can't complain.
It definitely got warm for the boys.
Right.
But a lot
not
of it,
bad. Not bad.
A lot of it's in the shade too.
Right.
And they've run. It's been a hot summer, a hot season up to this point, so they're used to it now.
I think it's going to be an exciting year. There's really 7 teams this year that are going to be battling for those last spots to get to New England.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a good team going home this year that in most years it would have made New England's.
Yeah. No, I think Meet of Champions is going to be really exciting from a team aspect, but also the individuals as well. Because last few years we've seen a couple of those top riders that we always expect. Like going into today, we had a few different guys that we thought could be it, and I think it's going to continue that trend for Meet of Champions.
Exactly.
So we see these guys finishing up. Once again, this has been NewHampshireCrossCountry.com, powered by Runners Alley. Coming to you from the 2019 Black Bear Invitational. This year's Meet Hub is brought to you by Foss Running Camp, and this has been your 2019 Boys Varsity Race.